Good morning. My name is Richie and I'm in Kinnerton Street in London SW1, just off Knightsbridge. And the reason I'm here is to take a few photographs of the place where we had our family house during the 1980s and where my lovely daughter and great son were born and grew up in. And as you can see, it's a pretty little mews street. And we used to live in Knightsbridge, Margaret and I, when she came to join me in London in the 70s, and then we moved here in the 80s, so we would have a rather more peaceful surrounding for our children to play in. And it's a great little street, and it's still well occupied, and behind me there's a fashion shop and there's a nice little pub as well. And we had great fun and great times here. And throughout the 80s, all went extremely well until come 1991, and Margaret decided to take herself off with the glitterati, and I went to join the literati. But my great son and great daughter had a marvellous time here in the beginning. Hi, I was thinking of you both last night because my lovely lady partner put on some records from the 60s, and that was the time when I was sort of about your age, and life was full of promises and full of difficulties. And I had two main preoccupations on my mind. One was girls and the other was girls. And my parents tried to introduce me to a third preoccupation, which was, what did I want to do as a career in life? Now, that was slightly more difficult than dealing with girls, because I was mainly rejected by the ones I wished to meet and have a conversation with. And the ones that I wasn't that keen to have a conversation with wished to have a conversation with me. That meant for considerable difficulties. However, the careers were slightly easier because one could experiment with careers and decide over a period of time. Indeed, I went to, when I was at school, I really wanted to study history, probably philosophy, which they didn't do at our school. And when we had the lovely interview with the headmaster and my parents, and they asked me what I'd like to do, and I told them what I'd like to do, and they asked the headmaster, and he said, "Oh, it's quite simple. McGlandry here is reasonably intelligent, so as a boy he should do physics, chemistry, maths, and, well, perhaps biology." And I went to university and did engineering. And I was very fortunate, because through engineering and through the students' unions, I then picked up a career in IT and computing. And that was 1960. So I said to my mathematics professor, "I would like to take up a career in computing, and sir, what do you suggest?" And he said, "It's either London or Manchester for you, young man. Belfast, Ireland does not have any computers." So I went to Manchester, had a look around, lovely city. I went to London. I got off at the wrong tube station, discovered the King's Road, spent an enjoyable afternoon there, and then went to Imperial College, which happened to be fairly adjacent, so it was London for me. The main matter coming out of this, for young people like yourself looking for careers, keep an open mind. If you've got subjects at school or subjects at university or subjects at college that you greatly enjoy, by all means continue them. But keep an open mind, because during your 20s is the time to experiment with different careers and to follow your heart. And indeed that brings me back to the subject of finding a very good loving partner. Again, follow your heart.
Hello, I'm Brenda. I met Richie about 4.5 years ago, and we've been living together since shortly after we met. I found him to be a very loving, kind, generous and supportive partner. And Also lots of fun to be around. He's quite a character, as is befitting for an Irishman, full of blarney sometimes, but very optimistic and very uplifting in his outlook on life. I know that one of the sadnesses of his life has been the abrupt separation that he experienced from his children, and I hope that one day they appreciate just how proud they can be of Richie as a dad. He has shown great strength of character under difficult circumstances, and I think they can be very proud of him. I also would very much welcome them into our lives if the opportunity were to arise. We would love to experience reconciliation with them. I have good relationships with the nieces and nephews that I have in Australia and my godson in Canada, and it would be great to have the opportunity to extend that to Richie's children as well. Richie's been very supportive in many of my endeavours, and we've had some great travels and interesting times together, and I hope that will continue for a long time to come. Thank you.
Hi, the last part of this short video clip is just to let you see some of the good places I've been in our world with my lovely partner, Brenda. And last year, in 2009, we were off to see the Lake Titicaca in Bolivia, where the Incas rightfully felt there was a great centre of spiritual energy. And then we went on later in the year to have a wonderful adventure, whitewater rafting down the Grand Canyon, which took over a week and covered a couple of hundred rapids, as well as a very powerful force. And both of those were delightful. So this year in 2010, we're off to, first of all, Lake Baikal in Russia, and then we're going on later to have a visit to the Rockies in Canada, where there are one or two special lakes. And then towards the end of this year, we're off to Egypt, the Nile and Sinai. And one of the main purposes, apart from physical enjoyment and seeing these wonderful places, is in fact they are very powerful centres of spiritual energy, and that's an interest which my partner and I have got in world affairs. And so up are coming some of the clips for you, and it ends with a lovely shot of the pyramids. And bear in mind, especially for my darling and delightful children, if you would like to join us in these creative and wonderful adventures, just give me a call. Bye for now.